Ball is caught by Bellinger. What a catch!
With a world heavyweight title line in the balance.
You are now listening to Jocks and Geeks with J&P. Let's go.
Yo, this is Jocks and Geeks with J&P. Today we're going to be covering everything that happened in the NFL. We're going to be covering the game yesterday as for the MLB. So we're going to go ahead and start off. But first, make sure you follow us at J&P Podcast on Twitter and on Instagram. Also follow me personally at AlienPstar88 on Twitter and on Instagram. And this is Jay, and he's going to go ahead and tell you where you can find him.
Hey yo, as of right now, I'm just on Twitter at JHeal. The guys are working on the other social medias, but let's get right into it. Big Sunday night matchup for the NFC East.
Yes, sir.
3-3 Philadelphia at 3-3 Dallas. We have a matchup for first place. Peterson, coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, Doug Peterson, very brash over the week, saying they're going to come down to Dallas, get that win, get in first place. Tank Lawrence didn't like it, responded, had some choice words, say he better stay his butt, aka, I don't want to say what he said on the sidelines and coach, because, that is a huge win right off the bat. I'll give you some observations and then you go right into it, P.
All right.
Right off the bat, overall defense, best game of the season so far.
Yes.
Overall, against, I don't want to say a really good team, but a quality opponent at least for the NFC East rival. You had finally Tank Lawrence, speaking of Tank Lawrence, finally showing up, sack, forced fumble, all over the place today, disrupting, getting double team. All around the defense played well. Secondary played better. Jordan Lewis with a huge, not Jordan Lewis.
Xavier Woods.
Huge pick. Offense doing their thing. Dak Prescott looking great today. Ezekiel Elliott ran the ball well. He had some
over 100
runs,
yards.
But my biggest takeaway is, and I'll let you get into a little bit more into that Van Der Esch injury. How concerned should you be as a Cowboys fan? It's the next stinger. You lost Van Der Esch, and if I'm not mistaken, you also lost somebody else. I can't think right now.
Robert Quinn.
That's a big one. That's a big one as your best. What do you think?
As of right now, we don't know what they're saying it is. The main thing is right now is we got that win. Van Der Esch, it's a big hit, but I think he'll be over it. We have a bye this week coming up, so there's no reason to worry. If anything, he's out for a week. Guess what? We have a bye. Good.
Speaking of byes, now you have the Cowboys winning a division.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you had them at 11-5 or around that realm,
at
this point, for them to go 10-6, the Cowboys have to go 6-3 the rest of the way.
Yeah.
We were just going over the schedule right now.
Yeah.
Do you honestly see that?
I personally do.
I don't.
Just because of the fact that, right now, the way the Dallas Cowboys are playing, it's a hit or miss type of situation. The hit or miss situation is, with Dallas being the way that they are, they can come out and win. They can win out games that they need to win.
Well, they can.
The Giants is a game that, once again, the Jets should have been a game that we should have won. We didn't.
Realistically, going through the schedule, let's be real. 6-3 is what they need to be.
Yes.
10-6, don't see it. The reason being is, of course, do I want them to? The only way they're going to go in the playoffs is by winning division.
Yes.
But let's be real. Coming out of the bye, you have the schedule up. Coming out of the bye, they do have a win.
Yes.
Okay, at Giants, let's be real. That's going to be a win. Another division
Monday
win.
Night Football. And
then following week against the Vikings. As much as I would love for them to beat the Vikings, because obviously it helps the Bears, but that's going to be a tough game. But you got them winning that, right?
I do, because Kirk Cousins doesn't really play well.
Okay, so that puts
on the spotlight.
So that puts them at 2-0, because we need to get to 6-3. So that puts them at 2-0, right?
Yes.
Next game after the Vikings.
They're playing the Lions.
At Detroit, though.
Yes.
Just same way they shouldn't have lost to the Jets. Those games they're not supposed to lose. I'm going to give them a loss. That puts them at 2-1.
Okay.
After the Lions.
You got the Patriots.
That's a loss. At New England, let's be real. That puts them at 2-2.
Okay.
We got
the Bills.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but that's a tough game.
But they're playing in Dallas.
I
feel like honestly, personally, they'll beat the Bills.
Okay, so that puts them at 3-2.
3-2.
Bye. And this is
the game that we're
right
gonna
now.
disagree on.
We're gonna go ahead and do a live show that day, folks. We're just letting you know you're gonna want to watch
December 5th. Mark your
Live.
calendar.
Facebook Live, YouTube Live, whatever you
Instagram.
got. Instagram. We're gonna go live. Reason being, December 5th. What's the game, Pat?
We got the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas is visiting Chicago.
That's right. And in December 5th, I can honestly tell you, it'll be at best 11 degrees at best. Maybe we can even do maybe minus 10. Point is, it's going to be cold. Ezekiel ain't doing anything that game. As we discussed off air, you owe me a case of Shinerbach because Ezekiel Elliott will not rush for 100 that game.
Yeah, I mean,
So that's a loss.
let's see if that happens. But I honestly think Zeke's gonna run all over you guys.
Oh, man. So that's a loss. So that's 3-3. What do we got?
No,
next?
we're gonna go 4-2. So let's go continue. Now we got the Rams.
That's a loss.
That he's saying it's a loss. It's
It's
in
the NFC
Dallas.
reigning champs.
Yeah, but the thing is look at how bad they're playing. They're actually
they
4-3.
They look
with-
really good today.
Hey, they
With the
look
addition
good.
of Peterson.
and Dallas doesn't look good. And
I mean-
actually, it's not Peterson. It's Jalen Ramsey.
I'm sorry, because I'm
Jim-
thinking of Peterson with
he-
Baltimore, because we'll cover that in a minute.
Yes, we will. But the thing is that it doesn't matter who you have right now. They're playing in Dallas. Last year they played in
So you're giving them
LA.
the win.
They're gonna get the win.
So you got them at 4-2 right
I
there,
got them
right?
4-2,
That's a bye. Okay, actually that puts them at 5-2, right?
5-2.
5-2. At Philly, be realistic. There's no way they sweep Philly. At Philly.
We sweep Philly. We got to. There's no way. During the NFC East, we gotta win.
I have them losing to Philly.
Okay.
So that puts them at 5-3.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Washington.
We both have them beating Washington. So you know what? 6-3. But that's losing one they're not supposed to lose.
That's what you said.
That gets them to 10-6. But you know what? I'll agree with Pat. That gets them to 10-6.
Okay.
They win the NFC East because
Guaranteed.
only one team is gonna make the playoffs in that division.
Yes.
So moving on. There was a lot of doings today, man.
Yes,
Well,
there was.
overall this week. But before we even go to today's games, go back a little bit to Thursday's game. Speaking
Yes.
of Patrick, huge blow, man.
Mr. Mahomes, he went out. They're saying that it's going to be anywhere between 3 to 5 weeks. I mean, we don't know how he's going to recover. I mean, there's also rumors that were going around that he might need surgery. Once again, we don't know.
I think that is the biggest loss for the NFL if that happens. This guy is the Steph Curry of the NFL, in my opinion, right now.
Yes.
This is the most watched player right now.
Yes.
If he goes down, you can kiss the Chiefs' chances goodbye. I've been saying it all season. I think the Chiefs
But-
will go to the AFC Championship game against the Patriots. But if he is down and out,
I mean,
you can kiss that goodbye.
Even then, with the Broncos, I mean, the Broncos are, I mean, we're not going to sugarcoat it. They're not a good team. But at the same time, they did put up 30 points against them. So, I
But you
mean,
just said it's the Broncos.
it's the Broncos. They were playing in, were they playing in?
Pull up the Chiefs schedule real quick. I mean, because the thing is, Patrick Mahomes, this is vital. If he misses 3 to 4 games, I mean, you're talking about
Games that they could possibly lose.
now.
But the offense didn't look like they were missing a step. They kept going the way that they were going. And, I mean, with Pat...
They're lucky in the division that they're in.
Yes.
But
the weak
the
division.
Chargers can make a run.
Yes.
Okay.
But
the
they
Raiders
lost.
have obviously proven that they're not exactly trash this season.
No, they put up a good fight and they destroyed Seattle at home.
But today they got blown out by Green Bay.
Who?
The Raiders.
The Raiders. Oh yeah, at least the Ravens. Yeah, the Raiders. Yeah, the Raiders. They're counted out. So,
Okay, let's say Mahomes misses. Let's be realistic, right? Because it's a knee injury, then you got to come back. Let's be realistic, Pat. Let's say he misses 5 games. What do the Chiefs go in those 5 games?
I mean, depending on who they're playing, it could be anything from they can go 3-2, they can go 4-1, or they can go 5-0. Because, like I said, they played a team that. I mean, yeah, granted it's the Broncos, but at the same time they're
Pull up the
playing.
Chiefs schedule.
They're playing in Denver, which in return it should have been a hard team. But it looked like they didn't miss a step. Next game they have is against Green Bay.
Is that the next game?
That's going to be the next game, Week 8, and that's another thing too is that if they are playing Green Bay, who says that they don't win that game?
Well, first of all, I would have loved to see the matchup between Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
You got you got the torch passer and Aaron Rodgers passing the torch down to young Patrick Mahomes. Looking at this, then yes, you're right. The next game's Green Bay. Let's chalk it up. Obviously, let's be realistic. That's a loss. Okay, without Mahomes, that's a loss. And you got the Vikings. Man, it's the games at Kansas City.
It's a toss-up.
I mean, you know what? We'll give the Chiefs benefit of the doubt. Let's give them the win.
Okay.
And then after that, they got the Titans
That's a
at
win.
Tennessee.
That's a win.
At Tennessee, though.
It doesn't matter.
So
Tennessee.
you're giving the win to the Chiefs?
Yeah, because Tennessee. Look at what they did today.
Okay.
They didn't do anything.
And then after that, they got the Chargers.
Okay.
At the Chargers.
And once again, the Chargers played. They shouldn't have lost. But then again, it was one of those decisions that it came down to it.
So that's the case. If he misses 4 games, if that's the case, you got him at 3-1 without Mahomes.
Yeah, I do. Just because of the fact that Green Bay is going to be their only real threat that they have.
I got him at 2-2 without Mahomes.
I mean, well, I guess we're going to have to wait and see next week. And next week's going to be the game that's going to determine everything. But once again, that's one of the main games that happened on Thursday that really, really affected a lot of people. Believe it or not, the guy I was playing against had Patrick Mahomes, but I had somebody else better. And everyone probably saw the tweet of Aaron Rodgers blowing it up today against the Raiders. Once again,
Well, it's nice to see Aaron finally show up this season because he hasn't done that.
he really hasn't. But the thing is, it makes me a happy camper because of the fact he put up 58 points in the ESPN fantasy football.
I'm glad that your fantasy team
I'm
was
happy.
taken care of. But moving on, speaking of games of the week today, though, we got to get right into
Seattle.
Ravens and Seattle game. That Seattle game.
That was an intense
I don't know
game.
what people are waiting on, but Lamar Jackson's a stud and he's for real.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson I'm a young QBs in the game with Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Man, these guys are
Surprised
like
you didn't say Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott, he did lead the Cowboys to a huge win over Carson Wentz. So, you can't dismiss what Dak's doing. But,
Yeah.
no, look, in all honesty, at this point of the season, we're now, 7 games into it?
Yep.
Huge win. Seattle they were hot, man. I called it last week, if I'm not mistaken. I call it at this point Russell Wilson at this point MVP, or if not up there.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson, what he's doing up there, you got to start saying, that's their division. That's their division.
Yeah, that's. With the Browns, with the Steelers,
Overhang Browns,
and the Bengals. There's really no competition. They're basically playing against other teams and out of the division that's really giving them any kind of chance or any kind of threat. With the way that the Ravens are playing right now, they're playing like a complete team. They remind me of the Atlanta Falcons when they had Vic.
Cowboys with Tony Romo.
Oh no! They remind me of the Vic team where if something happened and there was no play there, guess what? Vic took off, and that's what Lamar Jackson is doing.
And the division itself, as you spoke, the Steelers without Big Ben, their season's pretty much over.
Yeah.
They started 0-2 without Big Ben anyways. Or with Big Ben, I should say. Started 0-2. Then you got the horrific. The Bengals are back to being the Bungles. They're back to being trash. Dumpster fire, Cincinnati. They're fighting with Miami. No disrespect to a producer in the house. But they're fighting with Miami for the number 1 draft pick here. They're winless. And then you thought, not you, I'm saying everybody thought that the Browns were going to do it this year, take the division, and here we are, same story, same Browns. But enough about the Browns, man. Same old Browns, different season, same old dance. But speaking of coming back from the dead, look who showed up. Mr. Aaron Rodgers, 5 TDs on the day, smoking the Raiders. And here we go, Green Bay at 5-1.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Stop me right there.
He had 5 TDs throwing, 1 running. So he had 6 in total.
So you're telling me that the discount double check is back?
Hey, I'm not going to say that it's back, but at the same time, when it helps out my fantasy league, I don't really care.
Aaron Rodgers, I hate you. I'm going to say it right here at JMP Podcast.
Wow.
I hate you. But I tell you one thing. No, in honesty, all jokes aside, great win by Green Bay.
Yes.
It puts them at 6-1 for the season. And I didn't see this coming. I knew that they were going to be a lot better than people gave them credit. It is Oakland, but still, though, I saw them being I told many people Green Bay's back. They're gonna win the division.
Yeah.
But I did not see them being this good at 6-1 after 7 games.
So speaking of the NFC North,
Oh, don't even speak of it.
what the Green Bay Packers?
Nah, you don't speak of it.
Oh, I mean the Bears. The
Sorry.
Bears defense,
Yeah.
who we all hype over. I mean, I'm not going to dog them because
Why
I
are you
have
hyping? They are the number 1 defense in the league.
But
What's
they-
the hype? There's no hype. That's the real deal.
You're going to say that they're the number 1 team after today's performance?
I didn't say that. I just said, look, okay, let's call it like spades is spades. The disappointing thing about today's loss is that anybody who saw that game, Mitchell Trubisky came back after a couple games off, from the injury. And the sad part is he looked pretty good.
He started off pretty good, yes.
But the wheels fell off for the offense. Once again, we're going back on the offense. And if the offense cannot help the defense put points on the board, today the defense finally played poorly. But
Yes.
and their benefit of the doubt for them,
They only had one
they've been
sack.
carrying them all season. They've been
Of
carrying
course.
the team all season, so they were tired. I'm not making excuses. Bad loss though, because it would have been a great win. You would have been a red hot New Orleans team, with or without Drew Brees. They're red hot.
Yes.
So it would have been a great win to put them at 4-2 and stay at least in the division race. At least
Uh-huh.
now you drop to 3-3. You have Minnesota at 5-2. You have Green Bay, who's just pulling away at 6-1.
Yep.
They don't seem their schedule's not gonna line up anytime soon.
And the Lions are playing pretty good too. They're just getting bad breaks left and right.
And the concerning thing is, the offense continues to stall. I keep giving Mitch the benefit of the doubt, but the thing is,
There's only
you
so much
got
you
to
can do.
take a step forward. You got to take that offense and you got to put points on the board. Bottom line.
Yep.
At this point, all we can chase is a wild card berth. We're not gonna chase. We're not gonna catch Green Bay.
And that's really reaching. That's really,
the
really
NFC's
reaching.
stacked. The NFC's stacked. Speaking of reaching, if we're talking about 4 division winners, 2 wild cards. Throw it out there. Who do you think is those 2 wild cards?
So speaking of the top 5 teams in the NFL right now, we're gonna go ahead and jump into
The top five.
The top five.
The top 5.
and the top 5 J&P's polls. We're gonna go ahead and jump into it. I'm gonna go ahead and put New England at number 1 as of now. Obviously, because of the fact New England plays tomorrow and we're recording on Sunday night, we don't know what's gonna happen. New England could lose tomorrow. If they lose, it's gonna be a big shock. Don't think they're gonna lose, but I'm gonna leave them still at number 1. I'm leaving San Francisco still at number 2. New Orleans at number 3. We're going to go ahead and make a little adjustment. We're going to go ahead and bring up Green Bay at number 4 and Baltimore at number 5. That was a solid win for them today, and I personally think that that win against Seattle puts them in the top 5. Go ahead and throw your 5 picks.
Pretty much all same, similar, just different, different order. I do have New England number 1. I agree. I'll just throw it out there.
Yeah.
This is in Dallas. They're not going to lose to the Jets.
Yeah.
They're going to beat the Jets tomorrow on Monday night. Put them at 7-0 right now. At number 2, I like what New Orleans is doing without Drew Brees, holding it down. Teddy Bridgewater, is he undefeated as a quarterback with them right now? He might be.
Teddy is 5-0.
Right? So at 6-1, give me the New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
At number 3, San Francisco 49ers, 6-0 and riding high. Who would have known? Got to give him love. Number 4, that as Stephen A. Smith likes to say, that bad man, who I hate, by the way, Aaron Rodgers, I hate you. Green Bay at number 4. You know what? Got to look. Baltimore, they're looking solid, man. They're looking like those Ray Lewis defenses. Lamar Jackson's doing his thing. At number 5, Baltimore.
And speaking of the last, I know you're bringing up New England not losing to the Jets.
Because they won't.
The last episode that we did about the NFL talk, I did pick them to do the upset. So you know what? If they do that upset,
You did not pick the Jets to beat your Cowboys.
yes, I picked the Jets to beat the New England Patriots. I picked them just because of the fact that they beat the Cowboys, and I said, you know what? They're gonna ride high on that
Let
win.
me check that vague thing. Let's check that.
But speaking of that, we're gonna go ahead and roll on the October. What do we call it? The October.
The Fall Classic. It's the Fall Classic, but it's the
October
World
Classic.
Series, which we were both wrong. Apologies
Horrible
to the
wrong.
J&P fans. I had St. Louis versus the Yankees. You had the Dodgers
and
versus the
Yankees.
Yankees. But look,
From left field,
speaking of walking off on this show, like you said, right?
Yeah, the walk off. That win was. I mean, that was a perfect way to end a game. You know, walk off, home run at home. Houston, they prevailed, and you know we're only 3 hours away from Houston, maybe 4 hours. I've made that drive once, but they did win. They won, and they won in a way that all fans like. You know, in a walk-off home run.
This is why Jose Altuve is beloved by the fans. Come October, the guy takes it to a whole nother level for them.
5'6", and he's
whatever he is, 5'6", 5'5", whatever. But the point is, come October, look, man, they are stacked. They got 2 Cy Young candidates, and Justin Verlander and Garrett Cole. They have obviously, you know, Bregman, and they got Altuve. They're stacked. I really expected the Yankees, but the Yankees weren't healthy. But doesn't matter. They didn't win. Now,
I mean, they showed life
going into it
in Game 5.
Houston is an overwhelming favorite going into the World Series. They just are.
I mean,
but we cannot dismiss what the Nationals have done without Bryce Harper to get to where they are. Speaking of Bryce Harper, can you imagine how he's feeling right about now? I mean,
sick to my stomach. I mean,
so, you know, obviously, why not? We're show predictions. We were wrong this time, but we're going to throw it out there. It is starting on Tuesday on Fox. Nationals, Astros. Just for my hatred for Houston, even though I think they're going to win, I'll take the Nationals in 7.
you know what? I can't agree with you because of the fact that we're closer to Houston. We see a lot of bandwagon Houston fans, but I'm gonna go with Houston. I mean, the way that Houston's been playing, I mean, they showed the evil empire that, you know, they can lose, and I mean, pitching wise, we all know Houston's gonna be the better team.
I don't know, man. Matt Scherzer is playing like the best pitcher in baseball.
I mean, you're pretty much saying Mitch Trubisky is the best quarterback.
I mean,
that's what you're comparing it to.
Well, you're pretty much saying that Ezekiel Elliott is the best running back, and we all know that's not true, right?
Over 100 yards.
Look, man. We all know that the best running back this year is Christian McCaffrey from Carolina.
Yes.
Right? Come on, man.
Yes.
And if Saquon Barkley was healthy, we knew that he'd be better than Zeke too. Come on.
Yeah, come on, dude. I mean, but we're getting off topic. Let's go and get back to the MLB. But I honestly think Houston's going to take it. Their pitching staff is a lot better.
I was picking with my heart, but obviously, in all honesty, I think you're going to be right. Houston's tough. I think this was the World Series. Before the World Series, Houston, Yankees, whoever win. But Houston, I really hope it's a good World Series, just because the Nationals deserve a lot of credit. But I'm afraid. I hope it's Washington in 7, right? But what I'm afraid it's going to be quick. I'm afraid it's going to be their sweep or a 5-game easy series for Houston.
Yep. No, I agree. The Nats might get 1, maybe 2 games, but I don't see them winning, at least coming close. I mean, the way that Houston's playing, they're on a high right now, and everybody knows that once you're on that high, it's hard to get off of it, and that they showed it against the Yankees here in Houston. They literally turned around, came and played in Houston. Boom. You know, they won that game. So let's go ahead and wrap it up right now. I mean, there's enough that we talked about. I enjoyed it. It was a great show. Overall, a lot of the stuff that we talked about, I mean, we're going to go ahead and we're going to continue. We're going to wait for that day when Chicago plays against Dallas.
We're going live.
We're going to go live. YouTube Live. We're going to do all that live.
Facebook Live?
No, we're not on Facebook. But you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at JMP Podcast. Also, you can find us at YouTube. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to us, and we're going to be doing a giveaway. Once we hit 50 subscribers on YouTube, one lucky viewer is going to win the Nick and Matt Jackson Bullet Club 2
Sweet. Exclusive with the Bullet Club?
Yep.
You know what that means, baby. It's just two.
Sweet. So make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at JMP Podcast. Also, give us any questions you have. We will answer them on the air. Ask a couple of viewers. They've already got their answers question. Jay, you got any questions or anything to say?
Yeah, man, like always, none of this would be possible without Andy the Great in the house producing behind the scenes. Other than that, Like I said, we're gonna roll right into the next show. Keep the questions, comments coming in. Our next show, heavy on wrestling because it's a huge wrestling week. That's
Yes,
our
it
next
is.
show. Watch out for that.
Make-
Other than that, follow me at Jay Heal on Twitter, along with Peter Man on all his social media platforms.
Red Rock. Yep, Alien P Star 88 on Twitter and on Instagram. Make sure you follow us at JAP Podcast. And this is on YouTube, this is on Twitter, this is on Instagram. You can see a video of me and my little pup. His name is Comet, and he was going crazy for the Cowboys. Once again, thanks again for watching.
Hey yo, we out.
Peace.
Woo! Go Cowboys! Woo!